Filipinos traveled across the world to exhibit their art, aiming to prove the skill and intellect of the Indio on the world stage. But what Europe and the world was just about to find out, we had already known for centuries. From the traditional arts of tattooing and textile work, to our renowned voices resounding at home and abroad, to the modern art forms that make everyday life more colorful, to the works like the original piece you heard just now. The Philippines is a nation of artists. But in 2022, Filipino students were ranked as having one of the weakest creative thinking skills in the world. This weakness, many attributed to our falling behind in math and sciences. But what about the arts? Today, the majority of senior high institutions still don't offer sports and arts tracks, and arts education in the country varies wildly with a wide disparity of resources and facilities, with scholarships only accessible by a few. who developed a method of learning music known worldwide as the Suzuki method. In the mid-20th century, where elitism and prodigious talent reigned in music education, he believed that any child could learn an instrument, and that of all things, character was the most important in learning music. This, coupled with the widespread publication of materials, made music education more accessible to the public. And in 1980, this method was brought home to the Philippines by the music educator, Professor Carmencita Arambula.
Hello, we are the members of the Philippine Suzuki Youth Orchestra, a training orchestra of Suzuki students formed in 2019 with the goal of giving kids a chance to develop their music skills through group instruction.
Instead of the traditional Suzuki practice of playing the same melody together, we play a tapestry of music as one whole orchestra.
Aside from just learning our instruments, kids as young as I am can come together and even learn values like discipline, hard work, and of course, teamwork.
Thanks, guys. And that has been great. During the isolation of the pandemic, however, our needs changed. We didn't just need to learn together, we needed a community. So we continued having weekly sessions online, but we also self-produced our own content. Coined as Quarantunes, we performed a virtual recital every weekend, and we even started our own podcast where we talked about composers and recorded their pieces for everyone online. It was also during this time where we opened auditions to kids outside of our circle, and we found that there was a need for a space for more kids like us to be the next generation of music makers. Hence, we transformed our mission from just being a tool to becoming a bridge between orchestral music and the Filipino youth. started in 2019, we are now a proud orchestra of 50 violinists, violists, cellists, and even more than you see on stage. And in the 5 years of music making, the great experiment that has been PSYO has taught us the following. Creativity is learned. Today, we continue to share our music with our audience, whether that be the communities of Surat, Tagaytay, and Tondo, who we've met in our outreach concerts, or in our collaborations with other artists, open Christmas concerts, or most recently, a tour of 4 cities and performances across Italy. By creating opportunities for our music to be accessed, we not only create learning opportunities for ourselves, but make inspiring other kids possible. Creativity must be loved. When kids are encouraged to listen to one another while creating something meaningful, it imparts respect, inclusion, and kindness. It is the practice of being a part of a team, bringing a musical idea to life that requires everyone's participation in the orchestra. But it's not just the kids, it's the parents and teachers who push us and allow us the freedom to express ourselves. We are a community of volunteers who make music for the love of the art and for love of each other. Hopefully, by proving that music and art can be more than just traditional instruction and independent